Okay, we are looking to find the square root here, and we have some negative radicands. That means the number underneath our radical is a negative. So the way that we do that is we kind of treat this as if it is -1 times 36. So we're going to get that -1 kind of isolated on its own. And the reason that we want to do that is the square root of -1, that is our imaginary unit. It's the pure imaginary unit. Anytime we see the square root of -1, we're going to replace that with an italicized I, because we know that there is no number when I do in the calculator. Like if I do the square root of -36, it's going to tell me that there is a domain error, or there's a non-real answer, right? I showed you, yeah. Square root of -36 is an error. It's not going to work. So I need to pull apart that negative and kind of do that on its own. And now what I can do is I can replace this with an I, and the square root of 36 is just 6. So my final answer is 6I. And that's really where I would stop here. And this is when you can't really get in the calculator. You kind of just got to do the work. You got to separate out the negative on its own and then do the square root of what remains. So that one's pretty straightforward. We get down to 6I. If I do that same process here with the square root of -24, my radical should really go over the whole thing. I'll kind of set it up the same way to begin with. It's going to be -1 times 24. And it's going to give me that square root of -1, square root of 24. So we can go here I, but the issue with 24 is that needs to be simplified. 24 has a perfect square factors. Your perfect squares, right? They're the numbers that go, or that you get when you do like 0 times 0, 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, so on and so forth. There's a perfect square factor of 24, right? 4 is going to go in there. So actually, I really need to break this up into 4 times 6. And then to keep going from there, that's the square root of 4. That's the square root of 6. So now here, I'm just going to move this up so I get a little more room here. This is I times, right? Square root of 4 is 2 times the square root of 6. So I would do 2 square roots of 6 times I. I usually put my i's at the end. I've also seen this. This is fine. Either of those are simplified, correct answers. The I took care of the negative, and then I square rooted or I simplified the square root of 24. And by the way, just to show you that 2 square roots of the 6 is the same, if I do the square root of 24, I'm taking away that negative, so it'll get the decimal equivalent here. If I do 2 square roots of 6, it's the same decimal equivalent. So these 2 square roots of 6 and square root of 24 right there, definitely the same answer. This is just simplified. Okay, the last one I want to look at here is when we had a multiplier out front. So this is 3 times the square root of 49. The 3 is going to stay out front. We're going to do -1 times 49 underneath here. So let's see, we'll do 3 square root of -1, square root of 49. So here this is going to become my I. And the square root of 49 is 7. So really I just need to now reorder my multiplication. So it's 3 times 7I, 21. Oh, move it up just a little bit. One last step there, 21I. And on this one, this is my final answer. So that's all I can do here. That's been simplified. Hope this is helpful. Message me anytime with questions.